Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
No delaying for what you saying, yo. Said it with my 9 million with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, I be while in the studio. You don't wanna vibe, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. I'm a nigga that'll slap me with the tulio. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, nigga, shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, nigga, wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. On the go.
Yo. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to some. Welcome back, guys. Well, the hearing for R. Kelly was yesterday. Give me 1 second. Yo, sorry about that, guys. Flores, what's up, my beauty? Hi, baby. I see there's 4 of us in the chat. You know, it's so funny how I come on in the middle of the night and sometimes there's nobody here. But other people come on in the middle of the night and they have a whole crowd. Like, that shit is crazy to me. It's just the weirdest shit. Who's live right now? Who's live? You're supposed to be asleep. Go to sleep. Flawless. You could watch the replay in the morning. I love you. So, okay. Give me a second. I'm going back on mute. I love you too, Flawless. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get my information together in the background, which I thought I did have together, but I forgot to pull out one other information. All right. So, well, as we all know, R. Kelly had the hearing yesterday. Hey, what's up, Tears? R. Kelly had the hearing yesterday, September 28th. And according to Judge Ann Donnelly, she put in the minute entry for the proceeding that was held before her. Okay. And she stated that the restitution hearing as to Robert Sylvester Kelly, which was held on September 28th of 2022, there was the appearances by the AUSA, which is the Assistant United States Attorney, Lauren Elbert and Ms. Jennifer Bonjean were at the hearing, as well as Ashley Cohen. And as we know, Jennifer and Ashley are for the defendant, Robert Kelly. Now, Robert Kelly was present, but he was via Zoom. So the case was called, the discussions were held, and Ms. Judge Donnelly ordered restitution for Jane Doe number 5. Now, Jane Doe number 5, as we all know, is from the Eastern District of New York hearing that R. Kelly was convicted of for 30 years. So this has to do with his New York trial. So for those who are out there confused, please, I'm here to correct the situation and let you know. It's for Jane Doe number 5. We know who she is. Others out in the world don't know who she is. But we know who she is. Okay? And there was restitution for her under the certain code of the Title 18, the United States Codes 2429. That's the section. And they also reserved judgment on an aspect of Jane Doe number 2's restitution, which is pending. Okay? Because they're doing additional calculations. Okay, so the government, they have to fix whatever restitution she's entitled to. So they're going to add whatever other additional calculations that need to be added, as far as it could be from her therapy. You know, how many years she took therapy. And, you know, she has to get that proof. So once she gets that proof, she has to show that proof that she took therapy and that her therapy sessions cost this much amount of money. And she paid out of pocket for that, because the restitution is to reimburse the survivors off of anything that they have paid for out of pocket because of this crime. Okay? That's why they get restitution. It's not like, you know, people out here are like, oh my God, they don't deserve that money. Bitches don't deserve that money. Oh, no, they do deserve that money. They deserve every penny. Unfortunately, in reality, it's not because they were abused by him in that sense. That's not the case. That's not why they get restitution. Okay? Give me a second. Let me get to my So, wait. I'm on the wrong side. Sorry, y'all. So now, Jane Doe number 5 is getting restitution She produced whatever documents that she needed to produce to prove to the courts that she took some form of therapy, paid for medicine. She went to the doctors for her herpes. You know what I'm saying? So she had medicine that she had to pay for if she had any outbreaks, and she needed to control the outbreak and subside it. She has to pay for medicine. Those medicines are not cheap. I'm here to tell you, these medicines are not cheap. Medicine is not cheap. Not even Tylenol in a bottle is cheap. Like, okay. So for her to be getting $300,000, that's because she's paid that amount of money out of pocket towards whatever doctor services she used for her herpes, for her emotional distress. These things, are things that she calculated into adding for her restitution. Now, as we know, Jane Doe number 2, in the trial, her pseudonym was Stephanie. Okay. And Jane Doe number 5 was Jane. That was her name. So number 3, as we all know, was it Geronda? No, Geronda was number 4, right? So it's Stephanie and Sonia? No, it can't be Sonia. Sonia, yeah, maybe it was Sonia. Sonia is number 3. Now it says, or was it? Wait, Jane Doe number 1 was Aaliyah. Jane Doe number 2 was Stephanie. Jane Doe number 3 was Sonia. Jane Doe number 4 was Geronda Pace. Jane Doe number 5 was Az. Jane Doe number 6. Yeah, so Jane Doe number 3 is Sonia. And it says that the judge declined to have restitution for Jane Doe number 3. So, Jane Doe number 3 didn't come forward, I gather. This is what I'm thinking, with any type of anything as well. Or maybe they declined it because they dismissed her charges. I'm not sure how that goes. And the court inquired further about the defendant's financial resources and asked the parties to provide an update to the court to the extent they have new information. So the judge has been looking into R. Kelly's financial resources and asked him and his attorneys to provide an update, okay, on the extent of that they have any new information on his finances. Okay. So they want to know what's the update with his money, what's going on. Is there any other money or resources that they could pull out of? Maybe they're asking, things like that is a possibility. I don't know. It was also ordered that the government file a supplemental letter, okay, regarding the restitution by October 5th. I guess maybe in the middle of the night, because they were supposed to submit this letter on the 27th or the 26th, whatever date it was. They didn't put it in. The only one that put it in was Bonjean. Maybe they spoke to the judge about that and asked her for an extension or whatever. So the government has to have this letter in by October 5th. And that in the letter must have certain factors to it. One, it has to clarify that the government's calculations with respect to Jane Doe number 2, and it also has to include a proposed restitution order and a proposed payment schedule for both the restitution and the other criminal monetary penalties imposed in this case. So in the government's letter, they have to clarify the calculations, okay, as to her restitution order for Jane Doe number 2, okay? They have to clarify, all right? They have to make it clear as to what they're proposing for Jane Doe number 2's restitution, and also a proposed payment schedule on how to pay the both of them for both the restitution and other criminal monetary penalties imposed in this case, like the fees that he has to pay. The $100,000, the $40,000, and $900, like all that stuff that needed to be paid, the $149,000 or whatever the hell it was, something like that. They want to figure out how payments going to go, how we're going to schedule these payments out. Are we going to do a payment plan? Are we going to do a lump sum? Take all this money in one shot? We're going to take it little by little, basically, right? That's the part where they talk about with the schedule for restitution for the both, as well as the other criminal monetary penalties that he has to pay. And the defense must submit a response if they have any response. In other words, they don't have to respond. But if there is any type of response, they need to respond by October 12th. Okay? And the parties should determine whether they can agree on a payment schedule. Okay? And if so, they have to submit a joint proposed plan. So the government and the defense have to put a plan package together. Okay? And so we know that it's $309,000. Okay? Now, out of that amount, 306 $300,668.18 is going to go to Jane Doe number 5. Okay? And then, as of for now, because they're still working on it, Jane Doe number 2, Stephanie, is being awarded $8,400. Okay? That's so far, because they have to recalculate whatever they got to recalculate for her. Okay? And then on top of that, he has an additional $140,000 that he owes in fines and assessments. Now, remember, there was like a $900 assessment fee or whatever the heck it was. The rest is in fines. Okay. Now, the reason why they are, like I said, they have to pay the girls restitution, and it's to reimburse them, okay, for any type of medical necessities that they had while according to the abuse, right? So like I said, Azriel has herpes, right? So she has to see a doctor, she has to get medicine when it's necessary, right? So she has to pay for that out of pocket, all right? Or if she has insurance, her insurance pays a portion, but she has to pay a copay. Okay, so she's getting that copay back. So, according to TMZ, I guess they found out for sure, which I figure it would be for her too. That's pretty much what I thought as well. Would be for her herpes and her psychiatric treatment. So, right. So he has to pay for picking up the tab to deal with their STDs and their psychological trauma in the aftermath, basically. Okay. So he's going to have to cough up this money, and he's got to pay up. He's got to pay the judge. And, that's what it is. Kelly, you got to pay up, buddy. Like, because now that she's out on her own, she has to deal with her own medical issues. No thanks to you. No thanks to you, R. Kelly. No thanks to you. She has to go to see the doctors to treat herpes whenever she has an outbreak and she gets sick. And this is for the rest of her life. And she's going to be in therapy for a while until she gets perfectly healthy mentally, that she can be out on her own without any trauma and flashbacks and things of this nature that happens when you go through that. Right. So Sonia, which was Jane Doe number 3, that was her name, Sonia. She was denied the restitution. Okay. And of course we know because she was, they found him not guilty for her accusations. All right. All right. Now, as I said, restitution is when the court orders the person who committed the crime to pay the victims back for a loss that happened because of the crime. So it must be ordered by the court at the sentencing hearing. Okay? Restitution is not payment for future losses, mental anguish, or pain and suffering. Okay? Restitution is not for that. Okay? So for all these people on that other side supporting that man, acting like, oh my God, they don't deserve that money because, they're not getting money for that. Restitution is not for them to just play in their pockets. I mean, it's their money. It's a payback. Okay? It's what he owes them. Okay? Because the aftermath, they have to take care of themselves. They're no longer with him. He's not taking care of their medical necessity. So therefore, anything after the crime had happened, R. Kelly has to pay for that. Okay? Now, when you're a victim in this case, you can ask the prosecutors to ask the judge to order that the defendant pay restitution for your expenses. You have every right as a victim to do that. Okay? And at that point, you have to keep records of your losses and your expenses that were a direct result of the crime. So you have to keep original receipts. And then you have to give those receipts to the cops, to the investigators. The prosecutors will have them, as well as the Department of Probation. So when you claim for restitution, it's usually included in the pre-sentencing reports, or like when they do plea deals, or when they do dispositions and stuff like that. When they do the disposition report, those that all that goes into that information. They have to have receipts. They have to keep records. So you have to have receipts of all your medical needs, or every time you went to the doctor, how much was it cost? Every time you went to the pharmacy to pick up your medicine, how much did you have to pay? All that, and then it has to get calculated. Okay? So that's why Jane Doe number 5 is getting such a big number, because she has receipts. She has proof that she has shown documents to the courts stating that she has paid out of pocket XYZ amount of money to these doctors and to the pharmacies for her medicines and her treatments. So it's just R. Kelly paying them back for the shit they have to pay out for. That is not their fault. It's no cause of their own. That's his fault. He's the reason why she's getting these medical treatments, mentally and physically. So the judge can order that the restitution be paid in a lump sum or by a payment schedule. Now, if the judge orders restitution, the victims don't have to deal directly with the defendant. The payments come from the probation department or the Department of Correction Services. And if the restitution does not cover all of the victim's out-of-pocket expenses from the crime, then okay, so here's the all right, so these are the examples of restitution expenses. All right, so you can ask for restitution to pay for any expenses that you had to pay because of the crime. So common examples are medical bills, like any out-of-pocket costs for doctors, the physical therapy, ambulance services, transportation services, and emergency services. Also, counseling, if you went to counseling, those bills. If you had any loss of salary or earnings, okay? If you were working and because of this, you lost your job or you stopped getting paid, things like that. If there was any property expenses, like to replace something in your home or repair, clean something that was damaged, or even stolen property. Also, for say funeral expenses, if the person passed away, as well as if they're paying for any type of insurances, their deductibles. Also incidental expenses, like changing locks, any towing fees, and the cost of changing your phone number. Even that. So if she had to change her phone number, she could even add that. Look, I paid $60 to get my phone number changed. Add that too. Now, in the restitution hearings, the defendant can object to the amount of the restitution ordered by the judge. Now, the court may hold a restitution hearing, and the defendant may question the amount of the losses, and the judge may consider the defendant's ability to pay. And the prosecutors may contact the victims and ask the victims to testify at the restitution hearing. And they can also, the victims can tell the prosecutors if they're uncomfortable about appearing in court. So they don't have to necessarily go to court. Okay. So there is that on ours. Kelly, that is what has been going on as of late. That's what happened, guys. Hey, truth be told, what's up, grown little boy? What's up, bro? Candy, what's up, mama? We're rich, bitch. We rich, biatch. Okay. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Ty. Hey, Les Smith. What's up, lady? Yeah, so as I said, that is what's going on with R. Kelly. He has to pay $300,000 towards Jane Doe number 5 and $8,000 with change to Jane Doe number 2. Okay. And as we see so far, nobody else is going to get anything because nobody else claimed that they got therapy or that they're on any medication for herpes, this, that, and the third. So those girls will not be getting anything. Aaliyah, may she rest in peace, she's not here. But he could have paid them funeral expenses, could have paid Miss Harton back. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, we win as always. Good always prevails over evil, period. And this R. Kelly sector and R. Kelly's whole circus of a freaking Twilight Zone he lives in and all his people, it's a wrap. He ain't no good. He's the devil himself. And that's why things are happening. Period. He's the devil. For me, he's the devil. He's the devil. Along with his merry men. Okay. Right, Ty. Smallest, smartest, strongest, mightiest ever. Okay. Okay. Yeah, water off a duck's back. Word. Okay. Okay. So, I just wanted to give you guys that heads up because people out here are very confused. Okay. They're talking shit when they don't know shit. It's the scariest thing to see. I can't. Like, if you're going to tell a story, tell it right. I mean, come on now. Stop it. If we're going to tell the stories, let's tell it right. Okay? The reason why these girls are getting restitution is because R. Kelly owes them money. He owes them for them paying out of pocket and getting these STDs, okay, and emotional trauma, okay? Their mental space ain't all there because he did that shit, right? So, as far as, hey, Ton Bella, what's up, mama? As far as, them paying back money under the appeal, I was trying to look for something that would talk about it, but it didn't say. I haven't found anything about it. Like, seriously. See, I don't. Even when I typed it in, like, I didn't find anything really. Nothing. Let me see. Over here, I found some information. It just talks about appealing your sentence. Okay. Okay, now I just want to say a little something about this appeal situation. It says that when you appeal your sentence, right? It says that winning an appeal of your sentence does not mean that you will no longer have to serve your sentence. Okay? You will have to go through sentencing again. So you could wind up facing the same sentence or a lighter sentence or even a harsher sentence. So no matter what, even if he won an appeal for his sentencing, right? He still has to go through it again, no matter what. He's going to have a new trial, right? It says here, like appealing a criminal conviction, right? So if you want to appeal the conviction, you must act quickly to appeal your sentence. You have 60 days to file an appeal in a felony case and 30 days to file an appeal for a misdemeanor case. So due to restrictive time frame and the potential significant impact of a successful appeal, it is crucial that you consult with an experienced criminal appeals attorney as soon as possible. I'm just giving the information. That's it. That's all. So it doesn't matter because you have to start the process all over again. So you'll be going back to jail again. You might get a harsher sentence, a lighter sentence. Either way it goes, you're still going back to jail. Depends on the situation, right? Oh, well. See, like I said, I was looking for something that I didn't see nothing about them having to pay back. Okay. So, It says that the government can pursue unpaid restitution for 20 years after the person is released from prison. So while they're in prison, okay, they have to collect the restitution. The probation department collects the restitution, and they're the ones who give the checks to the girls. And then 20 years after he's out of prison. So if he does make it to 83 years old, and let's just say example, because he's already sentenced to 30 years, right? So they say he'll get out by the time he's 85. So 85 plus 20 more years to that. Right? So he'll be like 100 and something years old, and they'll still be collecting restitution off of him. Restitution is like a lien against anybody's property or assets that the defendant has or will have in the future. See, that's why I'm saying, Joy, leave this dude, because you're going to be left with nothing, girl. You're going to be left with nothing. Because if they decide to say, well, you know what? He has this little townhouse. Sorry, but you know what? We're going to have to take that townhouse. You, your kid, and everybody else got to go. Y'all got to go. Y'all got to leave this house because that's ours now. It belongs to us. Joy, go home. Girl, go home. Go home. Because it's going to be worse for you later, honey. Please go home. She needs to go home. That baby needs to leave. She needs to leave. She needs to leave that man. Okay, let's see. Now, it says here that both sides, because it says who can appeal the restitution order. And it says that both sides can appeal. The prosecutor and the defendants may appeal the court's restitution order using a process called mandamus. 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 MUS. Mandamus. A victim may also appeal, though it is not a common step. You know, that's not normally done, but it can happen. In the federal court, the mandamus orders appear when a party to a suit wants to appeal a judge's decision, but is blocked by rules against interlocutory appeals. Interlocutory appeals. It says instead of appealing directly, the party sues the judge, seeking a mandamus, compelling the judge to correct his earlier mistake. So that's what they could do. So all right, let me see. All right, so we already know why restitution exists. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to find information on because people out here shouting that these girls are not gonna get if he wins his appeal, that they cut off the restitution. Wow. So it says here that it is important to know that a federal judgment is good for 20 years from the date of the entry of the judgment. Like I said, so as of the judgment, it's good for 20 years past that time. Also, it's also good. So for 20 years while he's in prison, it's good, right? And then it'll also be good 20 years after the release of the person who was fined. Also, after the death of the individual fined. So no matter what, they will continue to collect restitution even after the person's death. So I don't know where they're getting all this information from, because here I don't see anything that says anything about that. Okay, because it says here that what is the effect of the restitution lien, right? So once a restitution order is entered, it has the same effect as an IRS lien, okay? And allows the government to seize any property or assets of any kind without prior notice, okay, to help satisfy the judgment. And incarceration does not stop the federal process to enforce the lien. Okay? So if the defendant receives any type of substantial resources from any sources that include an inheritance, an insurance settlement, life insurance as a beneficiary, or any other windfall, those funds must apply to any outstanding restitution or fine. Okay? So, I don't know where they're getting any of this stuff from. Let's see. Does filing for bankruptcy discharge federal restitution debts? Well, listen to this one, guys. So, question: does filing for bankruptcy discharge federal restitution debts? Right? Well, here it says filing for bankruptcy to avoid paying restitution does not work. Sorry. Please try again. A bankruptcy filing does not discharge federal restitution obligations, sir. You can't file for bankruptcy. Sorry. That's not going to happen. Nope. Sorry. No. Okay. Well, can people negotiate or settle restitution orders? Yes. It says, let's see. Under certain circumstances, defendants can negotiate to settle federal restitution orders following their period of probation or supervised release. Okay. However, since courts must be, by law, order an amount of restitution that covers the damage or loss caused by the defendant's crime, it is difficult for the defendant to negotiate for less than the loss amount. Right, because no matter what, that's the amount he's got to pay, because that's how much the girls are owed. It's like, you owe me money, pay me up. You don't pay up, I have to come and have somebody come to your house and chop your knees off. Like, we got to go gangster. What was happening? We got to go gangster on this one. So, okay. It says that here in conclusion of this information that I've been reading to you guys, it says that federal criminal restitution is a serious matter with long-term consequences, okay, for people unable to satisfy the judgment. Now, these long-term consequences can directly affect a person's estate and their retirement plans, okay? And the government can enforce a restitution order for 20 years and seize the person's assets to satisfy any type of restitution. Okay, and it says here that people must take proactive steps before sentencing or as early as possible to mitigate the consequences of a 20-year long restitution order. So, yep. That's just what it is. Like, I've been trying to look and look and look, and I don't see anything that says no matter what, he has to pay. There's no way of getting around it. None. So I'm just confused as to what people be paying attention to. I don't know. Oh, yes. I love the thumbnail too, sis. Yes. Yes, Joy, go home. All right, baby. I love you, Eva. What's up, mama? She said, ironic, the one waiting for him receives nothing. Yeah. Ain't that special? But that's because R. Kelly's supposed to be taking care of her and her medical needs, right? You know, if she has any outbreaks or anything like that, or she goes through something, he's the one that's taking care of her, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, Joy, go live your life. He ain't coming home. Word up. Word up. And he still have the herpes. He will forever have herpes. Unfortunately, these girls will too. Unfortunately. Mommy, the money is coming from his royalties, baby. R. Kelly is going to be getting royalties for the rest of his life till the day he dies. He's going to be getting royalties till the day he dies. And I don't know, but I'm praying that he makes a will for his children. I mean, that I think would be a really smart thing for him to do. I think he needs to leave a will for his children. And if he doesn't, what a scumbag. He loves his children so much. Give me a second, y'all. Yeah, so like I said, he's I hope he leaves a will for those kids. You know, he says, "Oh, I'm doing all of this because I need to have a relationship with my kids. Y'all don't understand. I don't have a relationship with my kids." And why is that? Why you don't have a relationship with your kids, R. Kelly? Why? Let me tell you why. Because you was taking care of everybody else's kids instead of your own. That's a damn shame. Damn shame. Yes, please make sure you hit that like button. Thank you. Yes. I'm happy they're getting restitution too. Well, I'm glad that Azriel had enough documents to show to the courts that She has been getting therapy. She has been seen by doctors. She has to get medicine. You know, this is a true story. She caught the bumps from her man, R. Kelly. At the time, he was pretending to be these girls' man, like, you're my lady. Yes, you are. But in the meantime, in the real life, he was treating them like whores and prostitutes and shit like that. Slaves. Yeah, no. That's not making it. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to give y'all that 411 on all that, okay? And let y'all know what was going on with R. Kelly's case in the Eastern District of New York for the restitution hearing. Because, chacho, people be babbling and babbling and babbling, and they don't know what the fuck they talking about. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. But I'm going to leave you guys with a little something from my boy, Mr. H.G. Tudor. You know, I love him. He's great. You know, he really breaks down the narcissist, because he is one. So he's giving you, you know, his true feelings on being a narc. Okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with this video. We're going to listen to our boy, HD Tudor. Please make sure you subscribe to his channel, like his video, okay? I left the video link in the chat there for you to follow him, okay? You can check him out. He does a lot of stuff there. Now, this one, being that we were on the subject of Joy and talking about, you know, who knows if she's pregnant, right? The rumor is that she states allegedly that she's having his baby, right? Now, H.G. Tudor, Mr. Tudor, wrote a little section talking about the narcissist and the manipulation of pregnation, okay, of impregnating a girl, okay? So let's listen to that. And I'm just going to take you guys out with that video, and then I'm going to end this live, okay? So let me get this over. All right, now, guys, I want you guys to give me a thumbs up if you can hear it clearly, all right? And it doesn't sound weird or anything like that.
Manipulation, impregnation. The issue of our kind impregnating a victim is yet another tool that exists within the narcissist manipulative toolkit to enable the achievement of the prime aims. And I dare say some of you find it abhorrent and reprehensible that such an act as conception and the bringing forth of new life should also fall within our repertoire of machinations. Others of you will not be surprised at all, long used to the notion that nothing is off limits to us. Everything is in play. The achievement of the prime aims is absolute, and, subject to the relevant school of narcissist, nearly all methodologies are available for the purposes of achieving those prime aims, chief of which are the assertion of control over you and the drawing of fuel. Impregnating someone or becoming impregnated is indeed a further form of manipulation that the narcissist will use. As ever, the issue of impregnation, the forthcoming birth, is very much something that is relevant to our kind, and as ever, I provide you with the cold, hard truth of how it's regarded by our kind, no matter how unpalatable you may find it. There are several ways that The act of conception, pregnancy, and the issue of children are used to further the dark agenda of the narcissist to achieve those prime aims. Number 1, the promise. The promise to give you children at the early stage of the relationship is invariably done with a view to ensuring that you succumb to our seduction and we are able to assert control over you.
He's deep.
See how committed we are to you? We want to have children with you. Just you, nobody else. What other commitment underlines and reinforces the strength of our desire to you? The joining of two people in love and creating new life together is the epitome of commitment. This is flattery, future faking. How your eyes fill with joyous tears and that look of spreading delight crosses across your face when you realize that this wonderful, brilliant, and magnificent person, after all, you're still in the golden period, wants to have children with you. Whether it is impregnating you or us bearing your child, this promised gain is readily wheeled out in order to clinch the deal. What you should also have regard to, that expressing a desire to make you pregnant, become pregnant by you, is all about asserting control over you. From the male narcissistic perspective, the act of having you take our seed deep inside you, subjugated to our desire to create new life, underlines our power, dominance, and control. You are not only allowing us to enter your most private places, but you are allowing us to deposit our very essence there as well. In the mind of the narcissist, whether conscious or unconsciously, this is the ultimate act of conquest. We have vanquished all resistance, and there, deep in your sacred and intimate place, we have placed ourselves. From the female narcissistic perspective, the act of becoming pregnant by you as the victim underlines how we have subsumed you into us. We have engulfed you and drawn that which defines you into our very deepest of places. We have absorbed you, taken you into us, and therefore we have similarly conquered you. The fly has entered the spider's web. Not only is this promise made early in the seduction, it will be made irrespective of existing children we may have and that you may have. In the mind of the narcissist, they are just tests demonstrating our fertility for this most supreme of acts, this union of you and I. If we are considerably younger than you and you're female, you're aware of the ticking of the biological clock, and this promise of wanting to impregnate you will be used against you as a golden carrot to dangle in front of you. You are on the cusp of becoming barren. Sterile years may well beckon, and here we are, youthful, virile, fertile, ready not to only give you your perfect love that you want, but to offer that perfect love by way of impregnating you. It is a powerful and irresistible promise which many find exhilarating and captivating. Of course.
You see that? The victim will find that captivating. That's why she was so excited to express herself. Ugh, I hate you, R. Kelly.
Driven by their emotional thinking. Add to this mix any existing issues in terms of trying to conceive or give birth, and this vulnerability of yours will be exploited even further. Remember, there is no emotional empathy here. The narcissist wants to give you what you want, but only because it will give us what we want, the prime aims. This promise will be launched at you very early on, no boundary recognition, sense of entitlement, and will initially seem to you like a loving and romantic comment to make, but it is one that is born out of the need to control you, and it is a promise that will be made good if it suits the narcissist's need to assert control through actually carrying out the act. In some instances, it will not, and the promise just remains future faking, using a future event to assert control of you in the now. Number 2, binding. There is no better way to bind you to the narcissist than the issue of children. The creation of children means that you are far less likely, and indeed, in many instances, actually unable to escape the narcissist. You want the perfect image of a family, and with someone who has arrived with such a glorious love for you, who better than us to have children with. The narcissist knows that as an empathic person, you will dedicate yourself to their upbringing, and therefore, This allows the narcissist with a lack of accountability and a sense of entitlement and an absence of emotional empathy to reduce our own involvement, save where it suits us to do so. As you know, when you need support, we are invariably found to be lacking. We choose having children as a means of tying you tight to us, again consciously, where greater or ultra, and where lesser or mid-range, it is unconscious. This ensures that you are bound to us, provide plenty of fuel for us, and of course, that there is a huge obstacle in your way and something that emotional thinking will attach to when it comes to trying to escape us. We have no desire to have children with you because of anything to do with you. You are being used as an incubator. We are like the insect, which arrives and lays its eggs in another host, causing them to do all of the hard work. Once those eggs hatch, you will be consumed, cast aside, just as that insect would the empty husk of the carrier whose role has been completed. You are an appliance that is to be controlled and supplies fuel. You are an appliance which is there to carry our offspring, leaving us free to cultivate other fuel sources, and quite possibly your replacement.
That's crazy. You see, he used Andrea too as a vessel. That's it, just to try to control her. And all of a sudden, she's a traitor when she decides to leave him.
Dependent upon the school of narcissist, you will receive little or no help from us, or be doted on, dependent on whether the pregnancy remains in the golden period. Whether it is, we expect you to bring forth our issue without complication or problem, because these children are required for the following reasons. Number 3, pawns. What better device to use as means of triangulation than one's own children? These pawns are used in the ongoing competition with you. I love you more than Mummy. You know that, don't you? I'm your favourite parent, aren't I? Let's not tell Daddy about this. Mummy doesn't really love you, but I do. Such utterances, born out of a sense of entitlement and an absence of emotional empathy, are issued, of course, in order to assert control over the children and to understand, so that the children understand who is their master and commander. They will be used to provide us with fuel, of course, as they find themselves subjected to our manipulations. But also, more than anything else, they are a necessary and brilliant device that is used to triangulate with you. They are non-intimate secondary sources, and therefore, whilst they have moderate importance in the fuel matrix, you, as the current or former intimate partner primary source, are far more important with regard to the provision of fuel, and therefore, children are utilized to triangulate and control you. Comments are made such as, I will let you, but Daddy won't. Isn't Mummy grumpy today? Here, take this money, but don't tell your mother. Aren't you happy that you look just like me? Such comments are made with no emotional empathy for the child or the partner. Your parenting of these children will be questioned. What you once did well, when you were painted white, will become the subject of scrutiny and criticism when you're painted black. Any perceived failure on the part of the advancement of these children in education, popularity, sport, and social competence will be laid at your door. You have failed them. This heartless and savage criticism attacking your competency as a parent is an effective method of causing you to react and to subject you to control. All the while, to the outside world, where relevant, mid-range or greater, there will be the provision of the facade, appearing as the doting dad, the marvellous mother, the perfect parent. Little does the facade reveal of the tyrannical reign that emerges behind that closed door. The tears and the sobbing never get to cross the threshold. Number 4, legacy. We wish to live forever. Someone, as brilliantly as we perceive ourselves, deserves this, and children provide the ideal conduit for securing that legacy. Our magnificence lives on through the accomplishments and achievements of children. He gets his brains from me. Yes, I was a champion sprinter as well. He has inherited my artistic side. I always knew that he would follow me into the profession. It is in the good genes I gave her. I always knew that she would be a brilliant swimmer. The child never achieves anything. We cause those achievements. The credit will always be hoovered up by us, sucking the admiration and fuel from onlookers as we grasp the glory and seize it for ourselves. We never give credit to anybody else, and we make no adjustment to this selfishness because of the lack of empathy with regard to children. They are just a further extension of the narcissist. We attached you to us as an extension, but we created those extensions. That is the magical thinking of the narcissist. Where a narcissist has children or wants children, then it's very much the case that the narcissist believes that children are the future, the narcissist's future. If you have issues with regard to co-parenting with a narcissist, because this is one of the most difficult situations that you can face, there are 2 assistance packages which will prove extremely useful for you and will give you incredible insight, practical tools, and save you time, energy, emotion, and money. They are How to Co-Parent with a Narcissist and Child Defender. You will find the links in the video description. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.
And thank you guys for listening and coming out and hanging out with me in the middle of the night. And as always, if you would like to donate to the channel, y'all already know you could cash at me at $ Diva Divine Light. You could PayPal me at $ at Diva Divine Light. And you can also Zelle me, guys. So I hope you guys understand what was going on with R. Kelly. And to all you groupies, guys, don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. Thank you very much. Please make sure you like this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, y'all. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Put it on all, okay? If you would like to leave your comments below, please leave your comments below in the comment section in the video. Gracias. Thank you, everyone, for coming and participating. Your girl, Diva Divine Light, is out. Peace.